Welcome back to Boxing on Rap, another car edition. I haven't done one in a long time, just due to personal reasons. But I figured I'd take this chance now to just do one. And I'm, looking around. I'm on the websites and I'm looking to see what's going on. And I wanted to get to know Juanmita López Jr. the third. Actually, he's a third. And I wanted to see, what's he up to. So I did some digging on his background, and because of his last fight in Puerto Rico, it was a action-packed fight for a young fighter. And I was actually, to be quite honest with you, that was the first time I ever heard of him. And I was wondering if he was Juan Lopez's son, and of course, it ended up being that. So that's what his name, Juanmita. And so I said, okay, that makes sense. But anyway, doing some background checks on him, looking up what he's done, amateur wise and where he's going professionally. The kid, for the most part, all his amateur tournaments were Puerto Rico. He either placed first and won the tourneys, or placed second in those tourneys. Olympic qualifier. So he did a lot of good things in Puerto Rico as far as the amateur career was. Some people would say, well, he never left Puerto Rico for his Amis, so therefore, how good could he possibly be? Well, Puerto Rico, fortunately, has a lot of also foreign folks coming in to fight in those tournaments, because Puerto Rico has a lot of good young amateur fighters. So, and the fact that he never really left Puerto Rico and come to like New York for some Golden Gloves, things like that, doesn't really speak against him, because, like I said, the competition amateur-wise in Puerto Rico is very solid, very good. So that was good. Eventually in 2024, I think it was, he got signed to Top Rank, the same promotional company that's signed his father. Only thing with that is, right now, that I'm fearing for him, is that Top Rank has no contract for TV right now. They have none. So right now, it's going to be interesting to see what they do and where they go. Because they were, so let's see what happens with that. And of course, he's had fights in Puerto Rico, and he debuted in Madison Square Garden. He's coming back June 28th to Madison Square Garden against a 5-2 opponent. So they're moving him kind of experienced opponents, it looks like. Either upstarts like himself who are undefeated, or experienced. This guy has 7 fights, even he has 2 losses. The dangerous thing about guys with 2 losses at a young age is that they already know how to, they experience that, they know what what it feels like. And sometimes they go in there with, I ain't got nothing to lose, I'm gonna be here and do the upstart thing and upset the apple cart. But they're doing the right thing, right? So they're fighting in Puerto Rico, which is his hometown, his home country. So that's good, because then that way, of course, you have a built-in fan base. You can sell out crowds if you're good enough. So you're doing that kind of thing. But you also want to build a fan base in the United States. Now, you either have Florida or you have New York. And right now, really, New York is the hotbed. Always has been for Puerto Ricanos. So that's the best way to move him. Either Puerto Rico, Florida, and New York. New York being the emphasis. You debuted there. Now you're coming back. I think that might be, I don't know if it's Puerto Rican Day Parade weekend. So it might be. So I'm not sure. And it makes sense if it is. If you can build a fan base in New York City, Madison Square Garden, I mean, you're going to be big time pretty quick, as long as you keep producing, the kind of fights that, people want to see. He seems to be a kid that's actually action-packed, junior bantamweight. He's 5'4". He doesn't have a whole lot of room, like his father didn't, to like blow up and get bigger and go across weight classes. But he looks like he has an unusually large frame, though. More so than his father. He looks more athletic than his father did. He looks quicker than his father did. I think his power is comparable right now, from what I can see, to what his father had. The one thing I want to see if he had what his father didn't have, which is durability. Once his father started experiencing getting clipped, hurt, and losing, his father kind of lost punch resistance, right? And he couldn't really take punches anymore quickly. So he, once people figured him out, it was easy for them to hit him, and then he would get hurt pretty quickly, and he would gas out. But before that, he was a monster. So I want to see if his son has inherited any of that. It'll be exciting to see. For the very least, we're gonna have a good time seeing this kid, get to where he needs to get to. So I'm hoping to see him do more things, and get more exposure. Like I said, he's June 20th. He's in Madison Square Garden, and more than likely after that, he's gonna go back to Puerto Rico. or Florida date. That would be, you know, the in Orlando. That would probably be the best thing for him. So yeah, so I just, you know, like I said, I wanted to see what's going on over there in Puerto Rico with the champions and prospects. I'll be reporting a little bit more on them. I'm trying to go through them, see who I think has the most upside, and, you know, make some videos on that. But even because down below, what do you think? Is Juanmita the future for Puerto Rico? Is you think he has the goods? Does he look good to you? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. And I'm out. Peace.